All right, shalom, shalom. First things first, I want to give all honor and praise unto Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Kwakadash, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahushai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahushai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahushai, Bashim Kwakadash. And we give double honors to our apostle elders, which are apostle elders a great millstone, which have diligently done the work for many years, and see hopeful elect on the four corners of the planet Earth. Keep fighting, keep pushing, maintaining for the words of Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, and this truth, man. All right, the spirit is moving out here. 2020 is becoming a heavy year for the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. We're going to jump right into it. The eyes of the Lord are upon the bloody city, okay? Because you got all this thing going on with Black Lives Matter and all this George Soros and different things that are being pushed out here for the agenda, but they won't push how Jake is out here killing themselves, because we're not out here pushing for Black Lives Matter. We're not out here pushing for black people. We're not out here pushing for all of Israel, okay? We're pushing for the elect of Israel. We've been touching on Esau, but Jake, I've been watching a lot of things go on with Jake these past, especially few years. But recently, this year has been very violent with Jake, man. All right, you had the situation where Jake shot up, he shot like 3 or 4 Jakes in front of a Coney Island, which was judgment. But in the same sense, you got Jake out here trying to protest and say Esau, but hey, among our people are found wicked men. All right. All right. So let's see if we can pull it up. See where this guy shot 3 people. Where this guy shot like 3 or 4 guys in a Coney Island, man, cold-blooded. All right, that wasn't Esau doing that. That wasn't no Ku Klux Klan. All right, that was Jake shooting Jake. All right, just like back in the day, it says Jerusalem, Jerusalem, thou that killest the prophets. So a lot of these Jakes out here, they're gonna get their issue by Esau because they're the ones that had a hand in touching us. So some of these Jakes out here are our enemies also. So we're not out here pushing for black people. We're not out here pushing for the so-called rights of so-called Negroes in America. No, we're pushing for the elect and saying that Yahweh Shem Yahushai is getting ready to judge Babylon with 2/3 of his own people. Bottom line, because among our people are found wicked men. Okay? This is another Coney Island shoot, man. Coney Island got some demons in there, man. You ain't supposed to be in there eating pork, but these Jakes were getting ready to go in there and eat who knows what kind of abomination, committing who knows what kind of acts, maybe staring at this man's, but either way, let's get back to the other subject or the other video and play, because there's a recent incident where in Chicago, they shot up 15 shot near a Chicago funeral. So Jake is shooting up funerals, man. You don't even see Esau. Esau has a primal hate for Jake. And Esau don't even be shooting up funerals. Esau at least let you bury your so-called dead, man. You know what I'm saying? Esau's a vile beast. But, hey, Esau ain't shooting up funerals, man. But Jake is doing that. Jake is out here shooting up other Jake funerals. So when Esau comes down having great wrath, we don't have no, because you're wicked, man. A lot of our people are wicked in doing the job of Esau. All right, they're doing a better job. They're doing a banged up job than Esau, man, because they're perpetuating the ways of Esau. That's why it says you are of your father, the devil. All right, because now you're doing the things that your father does, man. All right,
needs to end. They're the latest grim headlines in what's been a grim year for gun violence in the city of Chicago. At least 60 shell casings left behind as 15 people were shot at a funeral home on the city's south side. And then not long after, in a separate shooting, a 3-year-old was shot while she was in the car with her parents, who at this point are not cooperating with police.
Violence is a symptom of communities that are crying out. Young men who don't believe that they have a future other than being part of one of these gangs or factions.
The superintendent of the Chicago Police Department points to gang violence in at least this latest mass shooting.
In any day of the week, any hour of the day, several hundred gang conflicts related to that 117,000 gang members.
But another factor that can't be ignored is the ongoing coronavirus pandemic, significantly affecting the ecosystem of public safety. That includes jails, courts, community groups, and first responders, including police.
So we running on Babylon looks to be running on fumes, because once the ones that are supposed to be keeping peace, law, and order start getting sick and worrying about their own lives, this is going down a slippery slope right here, man. So the main purpose of this lesson is to show, hey, we talk about Esau, but hey, Jake, you got something coming too, man, because you doing more wicked than the wicked, man. All right, you doing more wicked than the wicked, but the Lord is getting ready to judge the whole of America, man. That's why that's why it says, him that do wickedly, let him be wicked. Him that righteous, let him be righteous still. That's where we at now, man. The ones that are going to do what they're supposed to do are going to do it. If you're not, you're going to be caught up out there. That's why we're starting to see more chariots. We're starting to get tighter in the spirit. We're working on ourselves. It's more than calling Esau the devil. And the apostles and elders told us that back in the day, man. And it makes more sense now. That, you grow in this truth. It's more about, it's more about putting the scriptures to use, man. How are you conducting yourself? How are you taking care of yourself? You're not going to be perfect, but you can try, man. All right, this is Ezekiel 7:23. It says, make a chain, for the land is full of bloody crimes. Because this was speaking about Israel, all right? Because Israel was wicked, and Israel is wicked today because Jerusalem's a people before it's a place. So Jerusalem's still being wicked today. And the Lord is going to judge it in the same sense that he did back then. But he's going to use Esau, these missiles, and these angels to do the clean up job, man. Let's start at verse 22. 21. It says, and I will give it into the hands of strangers for a prey, and to the wicked of the earth for a spoil. Because the Lord gave us into the hands of these other nations, but the main hands he put us in now is Esau, which is ruling the whole world as today. And it says, and he's got us for a spoil, because he's the one that's putting the guns in the neighborhood, the drugs, the violence, the things that's out there. But Jake is eating it up. He's sopping it up with bread, man. All right. It says, and I will give it into the hands of strangers for a prey, and to the wicked of the earth for a spoil, and they shall pollute it. My face will I turn also from them, and they shall pollute my secret place. For the robber shall enter into it and defile it. Make a chain, for the land is full of bloody crimes, and the city is full of violence. So Jake, you got a lot of violence in you, man. We ain't worrying about no Black Lives Matter. You got Jake that are shooting Jake down like nothing, man. All right. So we know that Esau's the devil, but Jake's, man, because you the one, that generation was the ones that was going against Yahushua's spirit back then. So the same thing is happening today, and they're going into what Esau's way of life. Murder. That's why it says that you can tell a tree by its fruit. Esau's way of life breeds violence and death. No matter how you take to it, man. All right? No matter how you take to it, it breeds violence. That's why you know these Jakes are in Esau's society, because look what comes out of it. It's pure violence and hatred and sickness, man. That's why Esau be doing serial killers and different things like that, man. He worships death. This society worships death, man. All right, that's why you see skulls everywhere. You see all types of witchcraft. Death is worshipped heavy in Babylon. It says, wherefore I will bring the worst of the heathen, and they shall possess their houses. And I will also make the pomp of the strong to cease, and their holy place shall be defiled. And the Lord promised this. This is what he said to his people. So how much more now with the things that Jake is doing? Jake is doing the same thing they were doing back then. So what's the Lord going to do? He's going to have Esau, these other nations, these foreign troops, these Gurkha troops, these UN troops. They're going to come to these places, and they're going to do what they did back then also, man. All right? So judgment is coming, man. So we talking about, this is the things that's promised to Jake, man. Shooting up funerals. You know, there was kids out there, man. If you see in the video, there was kids out here. Jake did not care, man. If we go into this video of the shooting, right? Look at this. There's all types of kids out here, man.
Yeah, so police.
Look, there's kids. Look, kids playing right here when they shot it up. See? They said that, and the ones that was injured is black woman. They said the ones that majority was shot was a black woman. Yeah. So Jake, man, come on. Hey, we ain't feeling the ones that are in the right spirit. We're gonna be in the right spirit. The ones that are not, they're gonna be in this violence, this way of life of Esau, and they're gonna be caught up, man. Nahum, this is Nahum 3:1. Woe to the bloody city! It is full of lies and robbery, and prey departeth not. All right, and you see it. The prey departeth not, because you Jakes are being used any which way Esau wants to use you. To work on a plantation, or to push his agenda, or to push vaccines, or to use for experiments. You've always been Esau's puppet in use. All right. It says the noise of a whip and the noise of a rattle of the wheels and of the prancing horses and of the jumping chariots. Because these chariots are showing themselves, man. Because the Lord's eyes are upon the sinful kingdom. And they're watching. They're getting ready to do a damage to Jake. Who you think is going to be destroying Jake's cities, man? Where Jake is at. These chariots, they just not going to be delivering Jake. They're going to be destroying Jake too. That's something we bring, hey, it needs to be spoken about. Because among our people are found wicked men. I done quoted that. Let me get it real quick. This is Jeremiah 5:26. For among my people, who's the Lord's people? You Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. For among my people are found wicked men. They lay wait for as he that setteth snares. They set a trap. They catch men. All right. So this is the same thing with Jake, man. Out here lurking. All right. As a cage is full of birds, so are their houses full of deceit. Therefore, they are become great and waxing rich. So the main point is Jake has become very wicked, man. And that's why you see the things that are happening out here with Jake, because they're pushing the agenda of Esau. They might as well be sipping Babylon juice. That violence, that's not of the Most High, man. That's why you see this truth. That's where the Most High is dwelling at now. That's the sanctuary of the Lord right now, is this truth. All right? This is Isaiah 59:3. And it says, for my hands are defiled with blood. It says, for your hands are defiled with blood, and your fingers with iniquity. Your lips have spoken lies. Your tongues have muttered perverseness. None call it for justice. So even in Jake will call justice no peace. But in the same neighborhood, they'll be like, oh, I ain't snitching. I ain't snitching. No, that's justice and peace. For what about the Jake families in the projects around your neighborhood? Tay gotta go, man. It's a hypocrisy. It says none calleth for justice, nor any pleadeth for truth. They trust in vanity. That's what they trust in. They trust in the lie. The code of the streets, man. The code of the streets. You know how many so-called thugs snitch on thugs, man? So much so they make TV shows about it. Narcos and stuff. Not narcos, but when they flip Jake, they get caught with a pack. They tell on the dealer immediately, man. So that whole honor amongst thieves, there is none. So what are they calling for? Yeah, and that's vanity, man. That's you believe you're trusting in something that has no kind of base to it. All right, and speak lies. They conceive mischief and bring forth iniquity. So everything that happens in our neighborhoods and our little barrios and different things like that is vanity and deceit, man. This truth is the only real baseline we have to come back to, man, and to be and live as any kind of spiritual people again, and to come back to Yahweh Shem Shai, man. So with that, Lord willing, it was hit. With that, I want to give all praise and honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kadash, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kadash. Shalom, Akim, keep faith, keep fighting, keep pushing towards that goal. We're almost there. Hey, 2020 is becoming a hell of a year, man. Shalom, keep faith.